Welcome back to the Gateway to Wisdom. Today, we explore Proverbs chapter 26. This chapter belongs to the Hezekiah collection. Proverbs of Solomon, transcribed by the officials of King Hezekiah nearly 250 years after Solomon's reign. This section acts as a profound manual for interpersonal discernment, providing a satirical, yet sobering, anatomy of a fool and a warning against the sluggard's bed. Let's discover how this ancient skill for living navigates the muddled realities of our modern world. Like snow in summer or rain in harvest, honor is not fitting for a fool. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the backs of fools. Solomon uses the natural cycle to illustrate moral incongruity. Honor for a fool is as destructive to society as unseasonal rain is to a harvest. Because the fool rejects the fear of the Lord, he lacks the internal self-control necessary for leadership and must be guided by external rod and whip. In ancient Israel, honor was tied to civic responsibility at the city gate. Today, we often grant honor to the scoffer through digital influence and viral fame. Proverbs warns that this misplaced honor undermines the order of our communities, rewarding behavior that should be corrected rather than celebrated. Like a fluttering sparrow or a darting swallow, an undeserved curse does not come to rest. Solomon establishes an epistemological anchor of peace. A groundless abuse or curse has no staying power. It is compared to a bird in flight that never finds a permanent place to settle. We live in a world of online cancel culture, where verbal attacks are frequent. Solomon offers a spiritual grammar for resilience. If our ways are blameless, we need not fear the darting swallows of groundless social media rumors. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you yourself will be just like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes. This is a classic wisdom test of context. Wisdom is not a list of rigid rules, but a range of application. To answer a fool is to engage his logic. Sometimes silence is required to preserve your own character, while other times a direct rebuke is needed to puncture his self-esteem. In our era of unfiltered social media reactions, we often feel pressured to respond to every mindless comment. Solomon advises the cool spirit of discernment. A wise person knows the right time and the right situation to speak or remain silent. Like the useless legs of one who is lame is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Wisdom requires internalized integrity. A proverb, wisdom in a nutshell, is a tool for living, but in the mouth of a fool, it becomes a dangerous weapon or a useless ornament. Without the heart to apply it, truth is merely inert information. Today, we see many motivational quotes used as a pious veneer for ungodly behavior. Solomon reminds us that technical skill in quoting scripture is useless if our ways do not align with the moral order God used to build the world. As a dog returns to its vomit, so fools repeat their folly. Solomon provides a graphic kick to describe the degenerative nature of sin. Folly is not a one-time event. It is a state or disposition that the fool returns to because they refuse to love discipline. We live in a culture that often seeks instant validation rather than deep character change. Proverbs warns that without a, quote, teachable spirit, we are doomed to a loop of the same mistakes, never finding the life indeed that wisdom offers. As a door turns on its hinges, so a sluggard turns on his bed. The sluggard is wiser in his own eyes than 7 people who answer discreetly. The sluggard represents a loss of agency through laziness. He moves, turns on his bed, but makes no progress. His pride convinces him that his laziness is actually a form of superior wisdom. Modern life is saturated with digital, worthless pursuits like endless scrolling. Solomon warns that the sluggard is not just unproductive. He is an irritant to his community and is cocksure of his own distorted moral vision. Without wood, a fire goes out. Without a whisperer, a quarrel subsides. The words of a whisperer are like delicious morsels. They go down into the inmost parts. Solomon reveals the deceptive sweetness of slander. Gossip acts as poison that sustains the fire of conflict. Without the talebearer, strife naturally subsides. We are surrounded by tasty trifles of gossip in social media culture. Solomon reminds us that the trustworthy spirit who can keep a confidence is worth more than the burning lips that separate close friends. Enemies disguise themselves with their lips, but in their hearts they harbor deceit. A lying tongue hates those it hurts, and a flattering mouth works ruin. Wisdom includes the skill of behavioral observation. Solomon warns that charming speech can be a mask for 7 abominations in the heart. Flattery is not kindness. It is a tool used to work ruin. In a world of personal branding, we often value excellent speech over genuine integrity. Proverbs chapter 26, verse 28 redirects us to the interior mirror, teaching that truth has an endurance that lies can never match. Proverbs chapter 26 tells us that folly and laziness are paths to ruin. It promises that if we choose teachability over pride and diligence over the sluggard's bed, our path will be one of life indeed. Which area of your life needs the healing tongue of wisdom rather than the fire of folly today? Subscribe and join us next time as we explore the sharpening of friends in chapter 27.